Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to channel my inner ninja. I want to be ninja. Hope you guys enjoyed that intro skit. I just want to introduce you guys to the 2025 Kawasaki Ninja 500. Roll the glamour shots. This engine gives a lot of pops and gurgles. I love it. Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, we have this beautiful Kawasaki Ninja 500 in front of us. This is the gray colorway. I won't try to pronounce all of the colorways. I just know there's a gray one, there's a black one, and there's a lime green one. Obviously, Kawasaki needs the green one. And there is also a special anniversary edition, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, this bike comes in two different variants. There is the standard variant, and there is the SE or special edition variant. What we have in front of us is the standard version. Biggest differences of the SE from the standard version is that you don't get a high windshield or a double bubble windshield. You don't get a TFT dash. This is just Kawasaki's regular calculator looking dash. I mean, plenty of information, basic stuff, all good. You don't get a USB socket, which would be here. There is a hole right there. But yeah, you can obviously add that, which is nice that Kawasaki adds that. And you don't get the crash bobbins, these little thingies here. So if you get the SE version, expect it to be already fully upgraded. My biggest complaint here would be probably the dash, because you can't really upgrade that. Now for the engine on this bike, it's actually quite interesting what they ended up doing to this. This is still technically the Ninja 400. You can see it's still basically the same, but it's now a little bit bigger. Let me explain. It's now a 451cc engine, but it's still liquid cooled, still fuel injected, still a parallel twin, still a 180-degree crank twin. I wish Kawasaki kind of changed that, you know. We're all getting really spoiled with these 270 crank twins. But overall, still a really good performing engine because it produces about 51 horsepower at 10,000 RPM and 42 Newton meters of torque at 7,500 RPM. It still has the same 6-speed manual transmission, still has the assist and slipper clutch. That's why the clutch is very soft. And this engine is all cradled in the high tensile steel trellis frame that we all know. It's just hidden under here. You can see a little bit of it over there. And yeah, now let's get into the suspension parts. For the front suspension, we have a 41mm telescopic fork. This is the same fork that Kawasaki has been using on their 300, 400, and now their 500. It's basically the same. You have a Nissin two-pot caliper that is axially mounted, and you have a 310mm single disc up front. Now for the rear suspension, we have a Unitrack single monoshock with adjustable preload. You can see the clicks up there. And behind that, we have a 220mm single disc that is hugged by a single Nissin caliper. Now for the pricing on this bike, guys, because it comes in two different variants, there is actually a price range. Now the standard one I'll put right here, and the SE I'll put right here, as well as what you get with the bike. Also, side note, you do get a cowl with the SE variant, aside from the TFT dash, the charge port, the upgraded windscreen, and the crash bobbins. You also get a nice little easy to remove seat cowl from Kawasaki. So those are the bikes. Now let's sit on this thing. Okay, let's swing a leg over this pretty bike. Kawasaki's design language never fails to amaze me. Overall, very comfortable seating position. You could see already from me grabbing the bars, it is a very upright seating position. It's a very sport touring sport bike, and seat is 785 millimeters. I am about a 5'11" guy. The bike weighs about 170 kilograms. That's wet and ready to ride. Tank capacity is 14 liters. This is what my foot would look like, or my leg would look like. It is a very tucked in foot peg. I would say it is very sporty, very aggressive. It's very high up. I mean, I can feel probably a little bit of cramping here, but nothing too bad. I mean, you are on a sport bike. It is a given. Now, let's get into this dash of this bike. Now, for the cockpit of this bike, this is what you see. And for the left handlebar, you have your passing light over here. Right there, you have your clutch, obviously very soft clutch from Kawasaki, a little bit squeaky, but it is what it is. You have your high beam, low beam, you have hazards, which is really cool. They didn't have that in the Ninja 400. You have your signal, and you also have your horn, which sounds like this. For the right side, we have a kill switch, we have our ignition, we have our brake master with a custom little Kawasaki cap. Now for the dashboard on this bike. So for the dash on this, guys, I kind of had to cover myself with my hoodie just so you can see a little bit more of it because of the glare. It was really bad. The camera had a hard time capturing it. But basic controls, you have your neutral, you have your flasher in the middle, and you also have your indicators left and right. Below that, you have your tachometer, which revs all the way up to 11,000 RPM. This bike is lower revving than the Ninja 400 because obviously it's got a bigger engine. You have your speedometer, you have your trip or your odometer, sorry, and then if you cycle through that, you have trip A, trip B, you have your kilometers per liter, you have your average, and you also have your range, which is pretty cool to have. And then on the other side, you have your fuel indicator, you have your temperature, and then you can cycle that for time and back to temperature. You also have a little blinking app right there, which is hard to capture. There we go, you can see it right there, app. So I'm assuming you can connect this dashboard to your app, to the Kawasaki Rideology app, and you can record all of your rides and whatever you do on the ride. You also have your gear indicator, you have your ABS, you have your check engine, you have your fuel, or sorry, no, you have your oil pressure, and you also have your battery as well as your overheating sensor. So that's all for the dash. Now let's get geared up and take her for a spin. Okay guys, so we are just getting her up to temp. She's about at 59 right now. She should be ready to go soon, so we're just gonna put our gloves and we're gonna hit the road. Now for this bike, guys, it is actually very competitively priced, but I'm not too sure if the standard version would hold up, because I think getting the SE is a bit more worth it. Because aside from obviously the windscreen, the crash bobbins, and the charge port, and obviously the seat cowl, that would be pretty cool, you get a TFT dash, which is really cool. But you know, a lot of people don't really look at the dash that much. They just look at it to see their speed and their gearing. But yeah, that's our gloves. We are done. Engine is up to temp. Now I just want to take note that this has also the special feature that we have seen on the ZX4RR, which is if we put her in gear, you see how the revs jumped? I noticed that if we go back to neutral, the revs will drop a bit. And then we go back to gear. You see how it slightly goes up a bit? Not sure if it's something actually that I've seen, or is Kawasaki putting these on their bikes now? We don't know. Hopefully it's a feature that stays. It's really cool, helps you get off the lights, and yeah, so let's go. She's up to temp and ready to go. First gear, very soft. Let's go. This is a very scientific discovery, guys, or a very scientific approach. Let's see here. Wow, she feels really nimble. Obviously, Ninja, what can you do? Most Ninjas are very flickable, and overall this feels nice. We're gonna go over here. she spools up very quickly, I would say. For a twin, they obviously all would spool up very quickly. So being a little 450cc twin, the torque is very noticeable. There's a big difference in torque, but overall she just feels ready to carve some canyons. Now obviously it does not have any feature like the CF Moto 450 that has canceling, sort of self-canceling indicators. This road is very filled with leaves and twigs. Hopefully we don't get anything on our tires. But yeah, let's get into some city riding action. Oh, she's just so much fun. You can really spool her up. Nobody left and right. Let's go. Okay, a little bit of city riding. Let's see how she feels. Careful, there's a little lip right here. Boom. There we go, and back down. Let's do a little cheeky pull over here. And second. Oh my god! A lot of fun definitely. I would say that if you're comparing this to something, obviously its direct competitors are the KTM 400 engine, the CF Moto 450 engine, the CBR 500R engine. That's kind of like the bracket of where this bike sits, and they had to improve on the Ninja 400 to make this a little bit more competitive. I would say this is a lot of fun, but there's a caveat. If you get the standard model, it's okay. I would say it's fun, but I don't know. The SE with the TFT dash is a bit more appealing to me. And add to that it's still a 180-degree crank twin. I think that exhaust note's gonna get very, very boring very quickly. Or maybe that's just me. But it is what it is. Second gear pulls, man, on a twin. Crazy. Crazy. Overall, I am enjoying this bike. I think it's a very, very, very aggressive and competitive bike in terms of styling as well as a price range. We'll get into the city a bit more. So here we have a little bit of a traffic area. You can see how easily this bike can filter through traffic. Now I just have to note for my other country viewers that where I live, it is completely legal to filter through traffic. Overall, traffic-wise, if you're sitting in traffic a lot, it's a really comfy bike. You are not gonna break your back being hunched over the tank all the time. The power delivery is very linear because it's a twin. It produces a lot of horsepower down low, plenty enough to sort of get you chugging along. And yeah, it's just fun. It's a good daily bike, it's a good weekend bike, it's a good track bike. Like Kawasaki's probably one of the few bikes that you can just take the track stock, like maybe just do an exhaust just so it sounds a little bit better, instead of a sewing machine. Definitely not this one, because it's gives me a bit of a headache. But yeah, overall the bike is really nimble. It's really well built, I would say. Kawasaki has made a lot of very good bikes over the years, and this is no exception. So the Kawasaki Ninja 500, what do I think about this bike? Overall, for city riding, it's very comfortable. It's a sport touring sport bike with a very capable engine. The foot pegs are a little bit high for me, so I'm a little bit cramped on this bike. But you know, other than that, it's a very capable little bike that can get you to places, and it's a lot of fun doing. It gives you a lot of fun getting there. You know, overall, very enjoyable bike. Now let's go into the highway segment of this review. Okay guys, we are just about to hit the ramp up to the highway, and let's see how she fares. There's a little bit of traffic coming up, but hopefully we can get through it. But yeah, overall I'm pretty impressed so far with this bike. It's a very capable little machine, and I think because of this taller windscreen or windshield, it's gonna be pretty comfortable on the highway. So let's try to merge and get her up to speed. Okay, there's a big truck coming up. Let me get my position right, do a little safety check, and then we merge one more time, merge again, another time, merge again. Here we go, getting her up to speed. We can actually merge one last time here and just follow the road. Now overall already we are doing about 70-ish, 75 kilometers per hour in 5th gear. Let's hover into 6th. She is a very capable little bike, and the taller windscreen, as I said, definitely helps a lot. Already just like the overall feel for just generally cruising on the highway, she's going to be very comfortable. I mean, the handlebars are pretty upright. You can see they're kind of like on this riser system that Kawasaki's been using on their Ninjas and their smaller displacement twins, you know, and even I think the 1000 SX or SE has similar clip-ons just to make it more comfortable for the rider. And I appreciate you using your signals, thank you. But yeah, overall she is a very capable bike. Brakes are pretty good. I would say that the Nissin 2-pot axially mounted brakes are really good. I don't know why Kawasaki has not updated the suspension to the upside down version, but I think it's for cost effectiveness, because you know, upside down forks are much more expensive and probably heavier to produce than telescopic right side up forks. But yeah, still it's a pretty capable little bike for highway riding. I would say I would put this in the category of a sport touring. Like if you're daily riding this bike, you're just going around town, and the occasional out of town highway trip, you're not going to be breaking your back just getting to point A to point B. It's super comfy. I do have to say that the exhaust that the previous or the owner of this bike put, I would say is questionable, because it's only 180-degree crank. It's a very tinny exhaust note. Like, yeah, sure, it's cool, but it gives you a little bit of a headache. So my PSA or my advice to people with a 180-degree crank engine is just put a nice long fat exhaust on it. It'll sound better, I swear. So this is like Kawasaki's answer to the 450 engines that we're seeing now, that everyone's making. You know, CF Moto, Kova is making a 450 inline 4. I I think there's a lot of 450s out there from Chinese manufacturers that are very capable, and this bike holds its ground really well. Now we'll give you a little bit more of a highway run. Let's try to get through these traffic. Try to get through these people. Thank you. Thank you for moving aside. We are going to try to filter through and see how well we can manage. But yeah, she picks up really well. Woohoo! A fun little bike to ride, I swear. Again, I am a bit biased with the 270 crank twins now because I have just been absolutely spoiled by CF Moto. But still, it's a very peppy, very happy engine to rev. Okay, so the Kawasaki Ninja 500, guys, what do I think about this bike and where does it sit in this sort of very aggressive market that we have right now? But before I get into my thoughts, guys, I just want to give a big thank you to Moonstrider Garage. They were kind enough to lend me this bike. They're super awesome, guys. Check them out in the description down below. They have a huge lineup of bikes. And right now, if you're early enough, you can actually get some promos from them and maybe even some freebies. So yeah, check them out in the description down below. Big thank you to them for supporting this channel. And yeah, let's get back into the review. So the Ninja 500, what do I think about it and where does it sit in this sort of very aggressive market right now? So I think the Ninja 500 is a very good small bike. It's super fun. The engine is raw. You don't have any rider aids that kind of block you from, you know, communicating with the engine and feeling how it is. It's a lot of fun, but I think that 180 crank twin is going to get boring very quickly because I think we're just so spoiled right now with the 270 crank twin. It's just a lot of fun to ride, and I think this 180 twin is getting a bit old, and I think Kawasaki needs to kind of reinvent their firing order. But you know, Kawasaki has done this for years and they love this 180 crank. It is very reliable for them and it shows. It's a very good and reliable bike. I think it's a very good bike, a very good beginner bike, a very good intermediate bike. It's a very handsome looking bike. It's really pretty how they designed it, and overall it's just an awesome bike to ride. It's a lot of fun. It makes me giggle. You know, that's important in the bike. The fun factor of a bike is why we ride it. We don't just ride it because it's cool, because it's this and that. It's just if the bike puts a smile on your face, that's a good bike. And this bike puts a smile on my face. So it is a good bike. But in terms of competition, guys, so that's price, performance, features, and everything else that you get from the bike, I think if this was the 450 SRS that we reviewed a few months back, the Ninja 500 sits just below that. I think the SE variant sits just below that, just scraping that 450 SRS, just like, you know, giving the 450 SRS a run for its money, because it's a very good bike. It's a very fun bike. And if it wasn't for the Kawasaki coming out with a SE and standard version and maybe giving us, you know, an SE with a quick shifter, that would add so much value to this bike. It would be a lot of fun. So those are my thoughts, guys, on the Ninja 500. What do you guys think about this bike? Let me know down in the description below. I love having a discussion with you guys. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe, guys. It helps the channel out a lot and it helps me make more of these videos for you guys. Big thank you again to Moonstrider for supporting the channel, and to everyone else who sent love and all these nice comments. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next ride. Peace.